Well, hey, hello, Advanced Anatomy and Physiology crew. I know it's been a whirlwind couple of weeks. Thank you for putting in the time. It's hard to believe that this is week 5 already. You're learning a ton of cool content. Hopefully that you'll see that this is relevant. You're learning techniques on how to learn. Some of these have been borrowed from 2400, but there is a new component this year with the added videos and the lack of scripts. And this is intentional because your professional programs wanted to prepare you not just in terms of the content, which is why we're all really here, but in some of the different modalities that you'll experience, not only in program, but beyond, like in continuing education, etc. Thank you for the work. You're all doing a great job. You're in this, we're learning great content. As we take a look at week 5 already, we'll turn our attention to the skeletal system. So thank you for putting up with all that work on cells and then skin right at the very end. This week in lecture, there will be a couple of things to go over with respect to the skeletal system, and we'll really focus on ossification. In general anatomy and physiology, we talked about the basics and dug a little bit into bone tissue, like compact bone tissue and spongy bone tissue, and the microscopic makeup. This week, we're really going to focus on, we'll do a little review of the parts of a long bone, but then we'll really focus on ossification, which occurs in two processes. One of them is called endochondral ossification, and the other is called intramembranous ossification. And this will require some time. There's a video that will help you with this, and there is a document that will help you with this as well. So that's the lecture content. Please start early. Please put the time in between the lecture video and between the document. You'll be able to get a complete sense on how all of our bones form. And we start forming bones way before we're born. Even. We start forming bones in utero when we're still hanging out in our moms, and we continue to actually build those bones for a couple of decades after we're alive. So your bones truly aren't formed for a couple of decades, and then we just try to maintain them. For lab this week, I'm going to ask that you relearn many of the bones that you learned in general anatomy and physiology. Please listen to me. To do this, we will use the Connect package from McGraw-Hill. So you've been taking your quizzes and doing simulations in Connect. What we'll do now is we'll use Connect to access cadaver images in another sort of software component called Anatomy and Physiology Revealed. So through your electronic textbook page, if you take a look where the book is down below, there's also another link to something called Anatomy and Physiology Revealed. And essentially it's cadaver images and a whole bunch of amazing quizzes. Because I don't want you to memorize everything in Anatomy and Physiology Revealed, I've curated a little chunk of content, and I will do this for each week. So starting this week and moving forward, you'll be required to submit a special code into Anatomy and Physiology Revealed that links just to the material that we're responsible for in any given week. And like all software programs, this will require a little bit of finagling, a little bit of getting used to. So for lecture this week, we'll do bones and ossification. For lab this week, please see the video that I posted. It'll help you access APR, or Anatomy and Physiology Revealed. There's a special code that you'll have to enter each week for each new chunk of content. And when you go to that code, you'll see just the list of things you're responsible for. Last semester, we learned images and we learned plastic models and we learned some real models. This semester, virtually, we will take a look at bones. And the beautiful thing about APR Revealed is that we can get multiple views. So instead of memorizing just a single picture of the humerus, which doesn't really do us any good, you'll be given the chance to take a look at a lot of bones of different sorts with different angles, and it'll really help you have a clearer picture of what the heck we're talking about. A few additional features in addition to the bone review. I've also included some of the stuff from last semester in case you want to use it as a refresher, things you're familiar with. And I've also included a couple helper videos that will sort of help you set the stage. So for lecture, we'll do skeletal system, primarily ossification. There'll be a quiz on that in Canvas at the end of the week. For lab, there are APR images to learn. I'll ask you to be responsible for an online quiz in Connect at the end of the week. I'll reach out to each of you individually. If you have any questions, please drop me a line. There are a couple of videos available, and there's one especially that you'll want to take a look at to help gain access to the images on Anatomy and Physiology Revealed within Connect. And like everything, this will get easier, and we'll do this now moving forward for the rest of the semester. We'll really focus on anatomy. We'll still do some simulations, but for the most part now moving forward, it will be cadaver images, which are in my opinion, much more powerful than just a plastic model of a liver, for example, in your hands. I appreciate the work. Thank you. Get going on week 5. Lots of stuff to do, technical lecture content, and get yourself oriented on lab. I'm here if you need me.